ladies and gentlemen. Two new rule changes for 2023-2024. Number one, opposing teams will be awarded a technical free throw when a player is ruled to have flopped to take a charge. The technical does not count towards ejection. That's number one. Number two, coaches will receive a second challenge if the first is successful. A timeout will be charged on the second challenge. Mike, let's break it down. Let's talk about number one, because I think that's the big one. I think
The flop.
the flop. That's the big one. I think that's the big one. Opposing, I put opposing on there instead of opposing teams. Excuse me for my lack of grammarly tidiness. Okay. Excuse me for that. But opposing teams will be awarded a technical free throw when a player is ruled to have flopped to take a charge. The technical does not count towards ejection. Okay? So, you go to the basket. I step in front. I try to take a charge. The referee says, no, you flopped. Since I flopped, you get a free throw. How do you feel about that?
That's a tough one because on those, if you get you're always taught, you can't take a full full hit from a player coming at you 50 miles per hour. You're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to get hurt.
Don't mind me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just plugging in my laptop because it's about to cut off.
Don't pay attention to me.
Don't pay attention to me.
But I
do my
get
thing.
what they're trying to do. I get they're trying to get the gray area of the rule out of the game.
All right, let's start over.
Okay.
We can edit all of this out. So if anyone's watching live, we're getting ready to start over. All right. And if you've ever seen me before, you are used to me starting over. All right. So, just bear with us for a hot second as we start over. All right. Let's do this again. We'll be able to cut it out.
All right.
We'll be able to cut it out. So let's do this again. Look at them. Number one, opposing teams, supposed to say opposing teams. I put opposing, but opposing teams will be awarded a technical free throw when a player is ruled to have flopped to take a charge. The technical does not count towards ejection. And then number two, coaches will receive a second challenge if the first is successful. A timeout will be charged on the second challenge. And please excuse my grammarly distaste, ladies and gentlemen. Who was rushing to get it done, trying to knock this out in a certain time period. But anyway.
Grammarly. I like that word.
Grammarly. Yeah, Grammarly. What do you think about these rule changes?
These rule changes, I'm still trying to figure out why is it a tech. And also I see, even though it does say that it won't count towards being ejected from a game.
Right.
Does it still count towards your technical fouls?
Personal fouls?
Well, technical fouls through the whole season, because you know how you rack up technical fouls, now you're suspended a game or something.
You know, I don't think it does. Like, for example, if you get defensive 3 seconds,
right,
that doesn't count towards, it doesn't count towards you being ejected, and it doesn't count towards you racking up fouls, for the season. So I don't think that's going to count. I don't know, but I don't think so.
So they're just counting the ones that the other ones would just be counted towards the ones that you can be actually ejected from the game.
Those will.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's still so, what I want to say, objective or subjective, whatever the word is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's how do I perceive it as the referee? I mean, I guess everything with the referees is based on how they perceive it. But this one is really kind of like, for example, you can see a travel. Maybe you get it wrong, but you can say, all right, let's break down the video. You traveled.
Right.
Right? You fouled that person. Look, you slapped them in the head. You fouled them, right? You can break these things down and look at it. Flopping is tough to determine sometimes.
And does that mean the referees are going to huddle up every single time, which is going to slow the game down? And then 2 minutes later, they're saying, oh, it was no flopping, no foul.
No flopping, no foul. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And effectively, the game gets slowed down. It will go from, 40, 50 minutes to extra 10 minutes in the game because of a few maybe calls, because you're leaving it now you're really leaving it to the referees to make an opinion about a play.
But they had to do something because there's a lot of flopping going on. How many times have we watched the replay and, someone swung their elbow or moved their elbow, pivoted, whatever it is, and the guy jumps back and grabbing his face and turning over on the ground, and then when you look at it, he didn't even get hit.
He didn't get hit.
Right. Didn't even get hit.
Someone grazed the cheek.
Yeah. You know what I'm
saying? Took some sweat off his face.
So I guess, where I think this is really going to help? Crunch time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Players are not going to try to flop. Now, how does this impact players taking charges in crunch time?
It's going to impact them.
Because a player might be like, I'm not trying to take this charge because they may say I flopped.
Exactly.
Because players are trained to take the hit, fall back.
Yep.
Right?
You can't take a full – I don't care how big you are. Another grown man that's about 248 pounds, 6'8", coming at you as fast as he can, and you're just standing there, even if you're the same size – it's going to hurt a lot.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wonder how this is going to impact LeBron James. LaFlop James.
Yeah.
How's it going to impact him? He likes to flop a lot. He flops a lot.
He flops a lot, but I think some of his also are he's trying to anticipate the hit. Yeah. I think a lot of them are trying to anticipate the hit. But obviously, like the elbow ones that we discussed, they're flopping after an elbow goes up, but not even getting close to getting hit.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I do think it was needed, though, because a lot of players flop. I hope that they do something about, players, from the 3-point line, they kick their foot out.
Well, right? And then
the foul goes on the defender, and sometimes it's like, yo, come on, he kicked his foot out. I guess it's something that the referees have to really look at.
Yeah,
not really make a rule about it, but the referees have to look at it more tightly.
I think this past season the referees made it a point to make that call on quite a few players, and I think they warned several players that do it.
Yeah,
hey, we're gonna call a foul on you.
They probably did, but I still felt like it was being called because I would get peed off.
It was
real quick, like especially in the playoffs when the Knicks were facing Miami and Jimmy Butler was doing it on a regular basis, and I was like, "Come on, man, y'all cheating!"
Right?
Miami already plays dirty. You just gonna let them do this?
So do you think 3 referees with all these rule changes? Do you think 3 referees are enough on the court?
Yeah, definitely. I think. Yeah,
because so much going on in a basketball game, especially in the NBA.
What I don't want to happen is, like you said, they're reviewing, as soon as, it's called, like, for example, goaltending. They call it a goaltend, and then they can go back and look at it.
Right.
Right? Now, hopefully what they do is, I don't know how this works either, but if they call it a flop, they let the play go on, but then during the next timeout or break in play, they take a look at it. But at that point, though,
so much it may have happened.
You've already given the other team, the opposing team, a technical foul. You know what I mean? We'll see how that's going to work out. I don't know if there's going to be replays involved with it, but at some point, if it's not right now, at some point, replays are going to have to be involved with it.
Yeah, and it may be replays that are coming from New York.
Yeah, right. Because I can see someone getting called for a flop, the other team gets a technical, and then you look back on a replay and be like, oh no, he hit him in the jaw.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
this adds something else.
Referees gonna have to pay a lot more attention.
Yeah, yeah. The second one I really do like though. Coaches will receive a second challenge if the first is successful. This is something that I think a lot of people have been calling for because, you know, you call for a challenge, you win the challenge, but you lose the timeout. Well, you keep your timeout, but you don't get another challenge, you lose it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I got the call right. I had to waste this challenge because you got the call wrong.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You got the call wrong. And like,
and that's why you see so few teams challenging like the first half of a game. Because they're like, even though I know that shouldn't have been
whatever it was.
It was, I can't waste it on there.
Can't waste it.
I can't.
Right. I can't waste it here because I might need it later on.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing. You will see more people using the challenges earlier in the game.
Yeah.
Right. And then now at the end of not at the end of the game, but a timeout will be charged on the second challenge. All right. Regardless if it's successful or not, they're still going to give you a timeout.
So does that mean if you don't have any timeouts, you don't
can't
have a
challenge.
second challenge?
Whew. Right.
So now you got to manage your
Now,
timeouts for real.
Right. If you don't have, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
If you don't have any timeouts, so you can't take the second challenge, and it's probably been like that with, well, it has been like that with even
NFL,
one challenge.
I believe it was like that.
I mean, but even with one challenge, you know, if you didn't have any timeouts, you can't. You can't challenge it because you don't have any timeouts. But it says a timeout will be charged on the second challenge. That part of it, I don't know, because I still feel like if you win it, it's not your fault. The referee made the mistake. So why am I being penalized and have to lose a timeout?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The referee made the mistake, and I'm being penalized still. I'm still being penalized because I have to use the timeout. I don't think they should have to use the timeout in that situation,
but I guess at least it's for the second challenge.
Right.
You don't lose it on the first one
Right.
unless I guess you lose that challenge.
Right.
You lose, and then also, who's making that call once you challenge? Is it New York or is it the officials on the floor?
I don't know. I think it's probably going to be a combination of both, and maybe even, you know, if it's in crunch time, you know, they better have all hands on deck.
Yeah.
You know,
and then you also got to see, you know, they don't allow challenges after a certain amount of time is left on the clock.
Yeah.
So
and let me tell Dell really quick to shut up. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Dell has something, you know, on my computer.
Good old Dell.
There we go. Good old Dell. Dell. Either put your name where it says your ad here or stop making noise during our stream.
Exactly.
Anyway, man, 2 new rule changes. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think about it. Put it in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Mike, any last words before I, you know, throw Dell out the window?
I didn't knock my water bottle over tonight, so we let Dale take over this one. And we had to fix Dale.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, thanks, Dell. We're out of here.
Peace.